What's so hard about that? You let it all go. You're turning up the volume, reaching for the radio. What's so hard about that?
So you two swollen hemorrhoids couldn't go 1 week without already causing an S-storm.
Bruce, I don't know what you're talking about, all right? And frankly, this is starting to sound like the same dog and pony show every year that we go through.
I can forgive a little drinking encouragement every now and then, but now I hear that last week you promoted and hosted a pre-tailgate tailgate?
And your point? I call a pre-tailgate good game planning, Bruce.
Yeah, it's like what Coach Hauser taught us, right? The 5 Ps. Prior planning prevents poor performance.
Christ, look, the point is management is already on my ass about letting you two back together. I wanted you back together. They didn't. I did that for you.
Okay.
I can't have you mucking it up by having a throwdown before you go out in public and represent QWIL on official business wearing those company polos I sprung for.
Bruce, you just tell them to wait when they see the ratings and the ad dollars we bring in. They'll be buying us rounds at Shotgun Sal's Saloon.
Look, Bruce, no serious sports broadcast professional ever goes out there without a little buzz. I mean, hell, look at Pat Summerall. Look at John Madden. Look at that guy who called the Nick Castellanos drive to left field.
Don't you start with that crap now, okay? We're on a razor's edge right now, and if you two F this up, so help me God, I'll make sure you never put on those headsets again.
All right, Bruce, calm down. Calm down. We'll keep it under control. You know we always get a little overzealous when the season starts, isn't that right, Paul Wayne?
Yeah.
All right, but last week we just had to get doubly zealous because, well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I'd be sitting up there with my good buddy this season.
Love you, good buddy.
I love you too, Big Dude.
All right, cut the sentimental crap. Golly, a couple of dandies. Overzealous or not, we both know there's no such thing as a pre-tailgate tailgate, and now we both know Paul Wayne shouldn't be coercing high school students into being the designated driver, for goodness sakes.
Look, Bruce, I can either drive home with a suspended license irresponsibly or get an unlicensed student to drive me home responsibly. You can't have it both ways.
Why are those my only two options?
Jesus, get a grip. You know, I didn't ask you to break the atom, Einstein. I asked you to figure out how to get me home responsibly.
Why do you even have to drink to enjoy a porcupine win? Why is that?
There's not enough time in this world to explain why I need to drink any alcohol after a win while living in this one-horse town, or why the town bylaws say only one horse can inhabit this town.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's no good reason to explain why Paultom students driving drunks home is being used as an elective credit at the high school. I mean, practicum, really.
Actually, there is, Bruce. Corky Phillips is a student driving instructor. Everyone knows he's the biggest drunk in town, and he only got accredited so he could have an endless resources of designated drivers. You know, it's pretty genius if you ask me.
All right, even for this town, that sounds too stupid to be made up, so I'm going to trust you on that one. But you guys are on thin ice. No more promoting drunken debauchery and no more encouraging hurting our opponents out there on the football field.
All right, you got it, Bruce. No more mocking our opponents' injuries, unless it's a boat player.
You know, that's good enough for now, I guess. You just please don't get me fired.
All right, you got you a deal, Bruce.
What's so hard about that?
Good afternoon, Paultom City. You are now tuned in to the most listened to sports radio show in W.H. Nelson County. It is The First Down, and I am your host, Dwayne Applebottom, and next to me is my co-hostess with the mostest, Mr. Paul Wayne T.
Wayne, it is damn good to be here, and even better to be here as a proud resident of the Win Column.
Boy, it sure is nice, ain't it? Get used to it, Paul Wayne, because under our Chet Hauser, we're going to be here to stay. So get comfy, bundle up, sink into it. I feel good about it. Now, I am sure most of y'all heard us on the game call on Friday, but in case you went off grid for the weekend, we are proud to announce your Paultom City Porcupines are 1-0 after defeating the Fallon Beagles in the Bum Phillips Classic 56-24.
Dwayne, as a reformed prisoner and newly devout Catholic, I'm trying to turn over a new, more positive leaf on life.
You mean a new lease on life?
Yeah, that too. So let me start with the positives. Teddy Biles is the real deal Holyfield. He's bona fide. This may be sacrilege, so cover your ears, Pope Francis, but he's the Alpha and the Omega, the apostle of the end zone, football Jesus incarnate. He runs like he's been lifted up on eagle's wings. You know, whatever expectations you had for him going into this season, go ahead and double them because your Porcupines rushed for a school record 582 yards, and Teddy Biles led the way with 331 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns on only 16 carries.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the Wishbone offense is running better than it ever was. I mean, I bet old Darrell Royal is up there looking down. Got him one of those heavenly headsets on, right? And he's just kicking himself at how well Hauser's got things tuned up.
I'd like to think Heavenly Darrell Royals got him a big old Earl Campbell hot link up there too, Just feels like that's what they'd serve up in heaven to me.
Partner, if they don't, I don't want to go.
Hot links aside, our backs had themselves a hell of a night.
Well, in Teddy Biles' case, you couldn't be more correct. But as for our supposed all-state running back, Mr. Hashtag Johnson, you couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, he only managed 170 yards on 32 carries and just 2 touchdowns. Oh, and he had a fumble. Now, I'd expect this out of a rookie, but for a senior to do that makes you ask yourself, do we have the right guy? Is this an early sign of senioritis? I mean, 170 yards on 32 touches, that's what, barely over 5 yards a carry? I mean, geez, you might as well be sending out the punting unit with those numbers.
What really worries me is his newfound fumbling problem. Coach Hauser better have that kid super glue the ball to his hands during practice all week.
Yeah. That's what they did to old Denny, the dancing Greek Didopoulos, that year that we won state. I remember that. 1 week of practice looking like Edward football hands made that kid the back that he was that year. Not one fumble after that.
I even heard some fans out there asking, why was Hashtag still in the game up 4 touchdowns with 2 minutes left? And to which I say, sit down, bus driver.
Yeah, y'all can suck it. This is the Bum Phillips Classic we're talking about. We don't take any chances, okay? Especially after last year. Paul Wayne, we were so focused on the tale of 2 running backs here that we haven't even gotten to Peyton Hurst's missteps. And folks, that's not to sound cute. I mean, he was really having trouble stepping out there.
Whew. What a shock that's been. He's not sure of the snap count. He's lost all his technique. He just seems totally out of sorts. Hell, we're not sure if he's going to block or pirouette once they snap the ball. Something's up, Dwayne. It's going to be a real problem if this isn't fixed by the time district starts.
Another thing that needs to get fixed before district is the defense, Paul Wayne.
Yeah, I agree with you right there, partner. After that first half defensive effort Friday, I started laughing, just to keep from crying, because Alan Bosley might be the single worst defensive player I have ever seen.
Oh, Alan Bosley, that late transfer we got, and just to remind y'all, he's that kid that's named after the crappy cornerback played by Ryan Gosling and Remember the Titans. He totally lived up to his namesake in more ways than one.
I'm starting to think he was a late transfer here because his last school did everything in their power to get him out of there.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if old PMZ went out to his house and did an expose or hit job on him and his family if this play keeps up. And for people who might think that we're going a little overboard with Bosley's foul play, y'all must not seen him give up 3 touchdowns in 3 possessions. I mean, that dingus got beat on one play like he stole something.
Yeah, and we didn't have a Petey out there to replace him either, but we sure had an Aiden McMurray.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were down bad after the boat game last year, but this just hit different. He was just as bad, but at least he was a little familiar with the defense. Still, though, it's a shame we can't boot seniors down to the JV. That might be something worth proposing to the UIL this offseason.
Hey, if there's a petition, I'd be more than happy to sign, okay? Luckily, Mr. Bosley was benched for the rest of the night. And, after that, the defense really dug in, and they only allowed 1 field goal for the rest of the game. So, I consider that a pretty big success. They also scored a touchdown after an Aaron Chudd strip sack and a scoop and score by old linebacker Tim the Toolman Tyler. And he was getting his first start of the season, so you love to see that. That was good. Hi-ho, neighbor.
And finally, Dwayne, before we go to break, I did want to point out my favorite part of the game.
And what's that there, partner?
My favorite part was the crack-a-lack and cracklins crackback block of the game. Crack-a-lack and cracklins. When life gives you crack, make cracklins.
And who's winning the inaugural Crack-a-lack and Cracklins crackback block of the game there, partner?
That would be none other than newcomer Mamadou Balde. He made his presence felt early in the game when he laid a lick on linebacker Lickin' Lenny Thompson, knocking him out on a blindside block and springing Teddy Biles loose for a 77-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, now usually it's old Lenny laying the licks on his opponents, but I can honestly say that this lick was a long time coming, and word is he might be licking his meals through a straw, at least for the next couple of weeks. So you can hear that pop up in the press box there, buddy.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to give a special shout-out to the O-line for really taking Coach Hauser's philosophy of clubbing, choking, and chop blocking to heart. I thought it really made a difference out there, and I think the opposing coaches did too.
Yeah, there was a lot of hemming and hawing and jaw-jacking going on over on their sideline, accusing us of dirty play and the like, but I think they're just jealous of our game plan.
Yeah, injuries are just a part of the game, It's football, people. It ain't golf. We didn't tell your D-line to start playing 4 yards off the line once they had a few of their guys go down. We were just taking what they gave us. That's just sound football strategy, basic stuff.
Couldn't have said it better myself, partner. The bottom line is, folks, this is a good win for the team, but like most seasons, if we don't get things turned around, we're going to lose it all. And the season will go to pot. It's just that simple. Anyways, hold on to your hats, folks, because it is time for the long-awaited return of the Opine line here on the First Down. So y'all fire up those phones. We'll be right back.
Hey folks, this is Paul Wayne Teague telling you that if you want a snack that's the crispiest, crunchiest, most flavorful pork rind this side of the bayou, then you'll want to try Crack-a-Lack Cracklins. Crack-a-Lack Cracklins comes in a variety of flavors, including our most popular, medium, spicy, and stank. And if you aren't a fan of pork, don't you worry, because we offer a flavor of our Crack-a-Lack Cracklins in a chicken fried variety, duck fat, and our world-famous gator cracklins. So if you're wanting that lip-smacking, booty-slapping, pistol-packing flavor bomb, reach for a bag of Crack-a-Lack Cracklins. Crack-a-Lack Cracklins. When life gives you crack, make cracklins.
Welcome back, folks. You are listening to The First Down here with Dwayne and Paul Wayne, and I'm about as excited as a rabbit going into a rabbit orgy right now because we are about to start the Opine line, and our sponsor today is none other than Shawshank Records, who graciously offered their studio for Paul Wayne to record his debut album, The Paultom Prison Blues. And y'all, I'll tell you right now, I've heard a few cuts off this record, and you're going to want to grab this one, believe you me.
I appreciate the kind words there, Dwayne. Catholicism and card playing weren't the only things I picked up on the inside. I also got the songwriting bug, and that made me put pen to paper, write out a few bangers, and release it here with you fine folks of Paultom City. And I'm happy to announce that I'll be having my album release party in a few weeks at the Senior O'Grady's Irish Cantina. All proceeds will benefit my court costs and door repair fees at my apartment. But, Dwayne, I'll talk about that another time. I want to get to our first caller.
As do I, good buddy, as do I. All right, let's fire up those lines. All right, Buford, who is our first call? Buford? Buford, I'm talking to you. Who's first on the Opine there, bud?
Me. I'm Brett. And first up, we have Alan from Paultom.
Christ. All right, well, looking like this segment is going to be doomed from the start. So, c'est la vie, right? Okay, Alan from Paultom, what's your Opine?
Hey, guys. First off, I just wanted to say how excited I am for another amazing season of Paultom Porcupine football.
Yeah, get on with it, Goober.
Secondly, I wanted to congratulate Paul Wayne for getting released from the confines of our overcrowded prison population, especially because studies have shown that most prisons have...
Well, I would go back to prison for 6 months if it meant I didn't have to listen to you drone on and on with your boring TED Talk.
Agreed, Paul Wayne. Alan, you got an Opine or not? Because I'm about to tell Brute to drop that call.
Look, I just wanted to say it's been a bit of a rough off-season for us. What with not having a head coach and, well, with my wife and the kids leaving me and losing most of my retirement savings in Gomer coin, having boat fans spray paint and anchor on my Toyota Camry, I'm just saying it's good to have Porcupine football back in my life. And also, I just wanted to say y'all's opinion on hashtag Johnson.
Bert, get that call ready. Get ready to drop it.
It's 100% correct. That kid needs to get a grip on reality and get a grip on the ball because Titty Biles is coming for his job. He's out there running the dang ball like he's Hollywood Johnson.
Well, Alan, I must say that even the sun shines on a dog's ass because that's the closest you've ever come to having a coherent thought.
Yeah, I might even go one step further and say he's making some damn sense, So good on you, Alan. I mean, against my better judgment here, I'm going to ask, you got another Opine?
I do. I think we need to give that Alan Bosley kid another chance.
Oh,
all right, cut that call right now.
Get him
cut
out of
that.
here. Get him
God,
out of here.
Jesus.
Lying there like a snake in the grass, you fool. Don't you ever call here again. God bless it. You give morons an inch and they take a mile, Paul Wayne. Real mouse and a cookie behavior, you know? All right, let's clear the palate here. Let's take another call. What's your name? Christ, I'm so angry. I can't even remember. Hey, yo, kid. Let's take another call.
Me? I'm Brett. And it looks like we have Charlie from Paultom.
All right, Charlie from Paultom. What's your opine?
Hey, boys, why can't hashtag hang on to the damn ball?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Why can't hashtag hang on to the dang ball? He's got one job. All he has to do is hang on to the ball. And he ain't doing it.
Well, yes, sir. We're kind of wondering the same thing. You know, why can't hashtag hang on to the dang ball?
You know, my daddy used to take a bullwhip, and he'd punch me in the gut with it until I was sick to my stomach.
Brett, drop that call. Drop that call right now. You know what? I think that's Roy Durgis. He's trying to pull one over on us again and do Tim McGraw's monologue from Friday Night Lights.
God dang it, Roy. Keep that monologue off our show. You know, take your crap to the Nelson County Community Theater and just leave us alone.
Hey, you got my name right.
Bert, don't interrupt. Let's just move on to the next caller.
Next on the line, Winkler residence.
Oh, come on. Have you learned nothing, bud?
Well. If it isn't the two biggest dummies in W.H. Nelson County, tell me, Dwayne, how's it feel being in the same room with a criminal? Better hope you don't drop the soap.
Well, if it isn't Kathy Pepperfield Teague Winkler. Bert, why in God's name did you let this harpy through?
Honestly, I just wanted to hear her cuss out Paul Wayne.
You Judas. You'll get no more fried pies from me, kid.
Face it, Paul Wayne, you can't escape me. Just like you won't be able to escape them legal bills once this trial's through.
Kathy, how are you calling up here right now? Didn't Judge Creeker order you two to have no contact?
Well, I can call him, but he can't call me. It's called Justice, Dwayne. Ever heard of it?
Wait. Hold on. Does that mean that Paul Wayne can't respond to you on air, too?
That's right. So unfortunately, he'll just have to sit there and deal with being a no-good lard that has been. He'll never have a chance at seeing his team win state again. Oh, and didn't y'all hear? Coach Strong found him a new job. He's at Stuber now. So good luck with district this year, boys. It'll sure be nice to hear y'all melt down this season.
Kathy, while I know my partner here would never do such a thing, I do sincerely hope you get hit by a car today.
You know, I expect to hear something like that out of my idiot ex-husband, but not out of you. Dwayne, sounds like you've been hanging around them felons for too long. If you're not careful, you might end up being behind bars just like little Polly Lane there.
Dwayne, would you be so kind to tell that female dog to get off our airwaves?
I heard that, Paul Wayne. Oh, and Tag says, hey, by the way, he's just over here polishing the golden shower head and the district championship trophy. If y'all want to come by the house later, you might be able to see him through the front window. It's going to be the closest you're ever coming to them this year, so might as well take a peek while you can get it.
Yeah. Keep running that mouth, Kathy. You forget that we got Chet Hauser at the helm now, and if I recall, he's had plenty of golden showers, so we ain't scared of you, sweetheart. So why don't you go tell your little beau Tag to suck an egg and tell him the Pines are coming and hell's coming with us, you hear? Hell's coming with us! Bark, cut that call!
You know, I know this goes against everything I believe as a newly converted Catholic, but I truly hope she burns in eternal hellfire.
Well, with any luck, God feels the same way, good buddy. Look, let's go to break before things get out of hand, all right? Whenever we come back, we'll have our Catfish O'Holy's community catch-up, so y'all stay tuned. Lord.
Where's the best place in town for fun, friends, and fried food? Why, Catfish O'Holy's, of course. After a lengthy legal battle with the state health department, we are back in business, and even better, we got fish again. Bring the whole family down for Fried Fin Tuesdays, Catfish Liver Wednesdays, and be sure to try my personal favorite, Fried Cat Bass Trout. We take a whole trout, stuff it inside a largemouth bass, and then put that inside a catfish. Move over, turducken. There's a new sheriff in town. It's cat bass trout. And as always, we'll have our goldfish pond open for the little ones. Whatever you catch, you can eat. That's the Catfish O'Holy's guarantee. So bring out the pole and drop a line here with us at Catfish O'Holy's, right off Route 12 by the water treatment plant. Catfish O'Holy's, we got fish again.
Welcome back to the First Down, Pine Nation. It is now time for a little segment we like to call the Community Catch-Up, brought to you by our good friends over at Catfish O'Holy's. Catfish O'Holy's, we got fish again. Now, this segment is going to serve dual purposes here because not only do we want to get Pine Nation up to speed on things that have gone on around the community, but we also want to get Paul Wayne in the loop on a bunch of this stuff.
And I appreciate that, partner. The only news I got in jail was filtered down to me from Father Pedro St. Pedro and the Catholic news bulletins from St. Anthony's Catholic Church, so I'm chosen to hear all the hot goss around town.
Buckle up, big dude, because we got a lot of goss and it's piping hot. So first up on our list, we got to talk Gomer 5.
Ugh, do we really?
Yeah, we do. Now, if you recall, old Gomer 5 ruined our chances at beating Boat last year by running out onto the field and getting tangled up with hashtag Johnson on the 1-yard line. Now, it was a heartbreaking moment, not only for the team, but also for the legacies of Gomers 1 through 4. I mean, he just raised his furry little hind leg and pee-peed all over their graves with that stuff.
I hate that I cried over that porcupine.
You ain't alone there, Paul Wayne. You ain't alone there. Now, the whole town has continued their shun on-site policy towards Gomer, and his mate, Penelope, now she has finalized her divorce with him. She got everything that she wanted in the settlement, and he's been relegated to staying out in an old abandoned Ford Pinto behind the water treatment plant. Word on the street is the only part of town that he's welcome in is that area over by the Dairy Queen where the bats have taken over.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he really just had it all and threw it away. I mean, you could call him the Johnny Manziel of mascots. Johnny Mascot, you might as well call him.
Yeah. I am glad to hear Penelope is doing well, though, because that girl just went through the ringer last year.
Yeah, she certainly has gone through it, right? And that makes this news all the sweeter, Paul Wayne. She's got herself a new man.
Is that a fact? Ooh, that is some juicy goss.
It is. PMZ has reported that Penelope has been seen around town with a porcupine from the Fort Worth Zoo by the name of Scooter, and all sources say that she's madly in love. I mean, she's really, really feeling it. Rumor has it that they've been sharing Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches for the last 2 months.
Oh, praise be Penelope. Get you some, girl.
Praise be indeed. What's even better is that she is really locked in this season. I mean, she broke through our spirit banner during the last game with such ferocity, such aggressiveness. You would have thought that she was letting out all of her frustration against Gomer, against that painted butcher paper, man. I mean, she is locked in this season, and the team and the community, they really feel it.
Yeah, I saw the Spirit Club got her a new purple and brown cape to wear during the game, so now she looks like a quilled superhero pacing up and down our sidelines. We should have had her as our main mascot all along, not that two-time and no-good dunce of a porcupine Gomer 5. I hope he gets real comfortable out there with those bats, because it'll be a cold day in hell before he sets foot in the super den again.
Yeah, now speaking of bats, I did want to give a quick update on that whole situation. As y'all know, we got a wicked bat infestation over at the Dairy Queen on Elm Street, and attempts to retake the ground have ended in death and disaster. I mean, it's like Battle of Gettysburg out there. It's just brutal, but, Gettysburg with bats. The town leadership agreed that it was best to cut our losses and leave the bats to their own devices, so Elm Street has been cordoned off and dubbed a no-go zone to all citizens, except Gomer 5, of course.
One of those bats was in the cell next to me in the clink. Name was Vlad. Ugh, that was a tough son of a gun. He shook me down for commissary money twice. No lie.
Really? Wow. I mean, I know they're no joke. I watched our junior high team scrimmage them last week, and they whooped the dog snot out of them, man. I mean, they ran the wing tee the whole time, and they just took it out of us the whole night. I'd hate to see them field a varsity team, man. I mean, they'd make a run of state. I'll tell you what.
If we have any bat listeners out there, Vlad sends his regards from prison. He told me I had to say that or one of y'all would give me rabies.
And what else is new? Let's see. Oh, we got a new phosphate shop in town.
Really? Now, didn't the state come down pretty hard on the phosphate industry last year?
Yeah, they did, but this guy found a loophole to make phosphates that are now below the regulated limit of phosphorus sulfate, and he does it through some kind of fancy chemical concoction, and it's totally legal, apparently. He's calling it Delta Fate. So if you're wanting to get that phosphate buzz and you don't want Johnny Law looking over your shoulder, head on down to Micklethwaite's Delta Fate Emporium today. I should note that he isn't a sponsor. I'm just really happy to see someone take over Red Bartleby's shop.
Rest in peace, Red, wherever you are out there.
Yes, indeed. Happy trails, Red. Happy trails. Well, Paul Wayne, it looks like we are running out of time here, partner, so why don't you give our listeners a little preview of Friday's game?
Well, this week's going to be a great matchup as we'll be hosting the North Lake Merrill Dragons at home for the first time this year. Now, if you recall, they handed us a pretty solid trouncing last year, so I say let revenge be our watchword and wrath be our guide, because these rich kids have got an ass-kicking coming this Friday, Dwayne.
Yeah, rumor has it Coach Hauser has the whole team practicing clothesline and spear tackling in preparation for this week's game, so pretty safe to say someone's going home hurting on Friday, and it sure won't be us.
Bring the pain, baby.
Bring the pain indeed. All right. Yes, sir. Kickoff is at 7:30 at the Super Den, and we'll be having the McMurray Mufflers tailgate in the north parking lot at 6. Alcohol has been expressly forbidden at the tailgate indefinitely, so y'all dust off those flasks if you want a little pregame pick-me-up. The student council has also informed us that this is a brownout game, so y'all be sure to show up early and wear your best brown clothes to show those Dragons we mean business. And just to kind of make this an extra brownout, our entire team has actually dyed their hair brown. Hell, some of those kids didn't even have to do anything, which is pretty cool to see, but they're doing it to really show their support for one another and to really show the Dragons that we mean business.
With any luck, I'll be browned out on some prison hooch after we get the dub.
You don't still have to drink that stuff, right?
Old habits die hard, amigo.
I guess they do. All right. Well, that'll do it for us, folks. As always, I'm Dwayne Applebottom.
I'm Paul Wayne Teague.
Go Pines.
As long as the bills get paid, as long as the food's homemade, as long as the bellyache is kept under control. Well, pocket on down in the shade, 'cause man, you got it made. How much dirt do you plan to shovel down the hole? Well, let me just tell you, buddy, I know before you go, it don't take no high-educated woman to keep me in the know. What's so hard about that?
The official broadcast partner of Paultom City Consolidated Athletics, QWIL the Quill.